Okay, quick question. When was the last time you looked at your 401k and just, I don't know, felt bored?
Bored? Try terrified or just numb. It's mostly just sitting there.
Right, it's static. It's the old 60-40 split. Stocks, bonds, see you in 30 years. But what if your portfolio wasn't just sitting there? What if it was awake?
Awake? That sounds vaguely ominous.
No, hear me out. We're talking about the super portfolio. It's this massive shift, Macro. We are moving from passive accumulation to, get this, active algorithmic orchestration.
Okay, algorithmic orchestration, that's a $10 phrase. You're telling me this isn't just a fancy robo-advisor? Because I've seen those. They just rebalance my ETFs once a quarter.
No, that's exactly it. The old stuff, the old school apps, they're reactive. They look at what happened yesterday. This new report we're looking at, it's talking about using DeepMind's Gemini Ultra. We're talking Agentic AI. It's not looking at yesterday, it's predicting the regime shift before it happens.
Before it happens. Okay, so we're giving the retail investor a crystal ball?
Kind of, or at least a way better telescope.
All right, Tech, let's peel this back. You mentioned the 60-40 split is obsolete. That's a huge claim. That is the bedrock of retirement planning. Why is AI killing it?
Because of speed and data. Look, traditional modern portfolio theory relies on history, right? Bonds go up when stocks go down. But we saw in 2022, that didn't happen. They both tanked.
Right, inflation regime, nowhere to hide.
Exactly. A standard portfolio just takes the hit, but this super portfolio, it uses dynamic asset allocation. It's ingesting everything, not just stock prices. We're talking satellite imagery of parking lots, the tone of a CEO's voice on an earnings call.
Wait, the tone of their voice?
Yes, Gemini Ultra can listen to thousands of earnings calls at once. It can hear hesitation. It can hear fear. If a CEO sounds shaky about guidance, the AI picks that up way before it hits the headlines.
That is wild. So it's analyzing unstructured data, video, audio, text?
Precisely. It detects weak signals.
Weak signals?
Yeah, so imagine there's a delay in a shipping manifest for a chemical used in chips, just a tiny blip. And maybe there's a local news report in another language about a strike at a mine. A human analyst, they miss that connection, but the AI, it correlates it. It sees a chip shortage coming 3 weeks out.
And it dumps your tech stocks before NVIDIA announces a delay?
And go. It's defensive. It's not just holding and hoping, it's pivoting.
Okay, I see the appeal. It's leveling the playing field because, let's be honest, the hedge funds have had this stuff for years. Maybe not this advanced, but they've had the data advantage.
That's the whole point. Information asymmetry is collapsing. The retail guy usually gets the leftovers, but with tools like Gemini 3 Pro doing deep think reasoning, this thing scores PhD level on benchmarks. It's bringing institutional-grade diligence to you and me.
Okay, but let's talk about the execution. You know I love the macro side. How does it actually trade? Because I can't compete with high-frequency traders. Those guys have fiber optic cables straight into the exchange. I'm on Wi-Fi.
Right, and you shouldn't try to beat them on speed, like raw nanosecond speed. You can't, but the report talks about competing on throughput.
Throughput? Explain.
So HFT is about being fast. Throughput is about being smart fast. It's market micro-momentum. The AI processes the meaning of a headline, cross-references it with options flow, and checks technicals, all in under a second.
So it's not just reacting to a price tick, it's reading the news and understanding it instantly.
Yeah, it's called high-throughput trading. It's scalping these tiny inefficiencies that humans just can't see.
All right, let's pivot a bit, because all this trading sounds great, but money is emotional. People panic. I panic. When the market drops 10%, my instinct is to sell everything and buy gold bars and bury them in the yard.
We've all been there. And that's actually a huge part of this super portfolio. It's the segment of one.
Segment of one?
Hyper-personalization. It doesn't just ask you, are you aggressive or conservative? It looks at your behavior. Did you log in 50 times yesterday when the market dipped?
Maybe.
Laughs. The AI sees that. It builds a psychometric profile. It finds your panic point. So maybe it constructs a portfolio that's a little less volatile just to keep you from selling at the bottom. It optimizes for behavioral return, not just math.
That's actually really smart. It saves me from myself.
Totally. And it goes further. It integrates with your life. If you're searching for baby cribs or divorce lawyers.
Whoa, that's getting a little Black Mirror, isn't it? It knows I'm Googling divorce lawyers?
I mean, if you connect it to your digital life, yeah. But think about the utility. It sees a big expense coming. It automatically shifts some assets to cash so you have liquidity. You don't even have to ask. It's like a financial guardian.
I get the utility, I do, but that brings me to the big risks. We have to talk about the downsides here, Tech.
Sure, hit me.
First off, hallucinations. We know generative AI can make stuff up. What if my super portfolio decides to invest in a company that doesn't exist because it hallucinated a ticker symbol?
Valid fear. That's why the report emphasizes the human in the loop, or the centaur model.
Centaur, half man, half horse, or half investor, half bot?
Exactly. The AI is the engine, but you're the captain. And the tech is evolving too. They're using RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Basically, the AI can't just riff, it has to cite sources. It has to check the SEC filing before it makes a claim.
So it's less ChatGPT writing a poem and more audit trail.
Right. Transparent mechanisms. Glass box AI, not black box.
Okay, that helps. But here's the other one, and this is the macroethical dilemma that really worries me. The report mentioned digital redlining.
Yeah, that's a heavy one.
Because if these algorithms are using alternative data, typing speed, shopping habits, zip codes to make credit or investment decisions, aren't we just automating bias?
It's a huge risk. If the historical data is biased, the AI learns the bias. The report actually calls for fairness agents.
Fairness agents?
Yeah, like adversarial AI, good robots whose only job is to audit the other robots for racism or bias. They stress test the models to ensure equity. It's like an internal affairs department for the algorithm.
I like that. We need that. Because if we're going to democratize wealth, it actually has to be democratic. It can't just be for the people with the right data footprint.
Couldn't agree more. It's powerful, but it needs guardrails.
So the verdict, are we handing the keys over to Gemini Ultra tomorrow?
I think we start with the co-pilot. Use the tools to research, get used to the deep think. But yeah, by 2030, your financial advisor might just be a server farm that knows you better than you know yourself.
Laughs. Scary, but exciting. Tech, thanks for the deep dive.
Anytime, Macro. And before we go, a quick word for our listeners. Damn. Disclaimer. We are two voices on a podcast, not your financial advisors. The concepts discussed today, AI trading, Gemini Ultra, super portfolios, are for informational and entertainment purposes only. Investing involves risk, including the loss of principal. Always do your own due diligence or consult a certified professional before making any financial decisions.
Catch you on the next block.